Hello and welcome to This Week in Campbell Football. With head coach Mike Minter, I'm Chris Haymeyer, and as always, we're powered by our friends at Dunn Benson Ford. Coach, 16-10 loss to Georgetown last week in a game that came down to the final 2 minutes. Your thoughts on that close game?
Well, you know what, we came out, I thought we played very tough. We came out with our cornerstones that we always talk about every week, the industriousness and the enthusiasm, and the defense really showed up in that first half, holding those guys to 3 points, and they really only got the 3 points because of the bad punt that put them, right there in field goal range right when they had the ball, and they was only able to pick up about 2 or 3 yards off of that, and then kick a field goal to go up 3-0 at halftime. And so, our offense going against a senior-heavy football team in Georgetown. They had 8 guys or so that know, they seniors. They know how to play. They've been doing it for a long time, and so it took us a while on offense to kind of get our rhythm. I just never felt like we had a great rhythm in the first half. The one drive that we did have, we fumbled in the red zone and gave them back the opportunity there, which we got to punch in. We once we inside the 10, we got to be able to punch it in. I don't care what's going on. Protect the football. Let's get in the end zone, and we weren't able to do that. What I liked, though, was the adjustments at halftime. I liked the energy that the players led. It wasn't a Coach Minter-led halftime deal. It was a players-led halftime deal. And then so when we come out, we play a better second half. As far as the offense is concerned, we put 10 points on the board. And so what I don't like is when we score and we take the lead, we as a defense, we can't let down and give up a touchdown on the next drive to then get a momentum right back to that opposing team. And so that's something that we too good for that on defense. And so, 7 points should have been enough. I really believe that 7 points was enough to win that football game, and so we have to be able to make that happen from a defensive standpoint if we're going to be the type of defense that we want to be. Came down to the last 2 minutes. Questionable call. We shouldn't put it in the ref's hands because that's the naked eye. We don't have the luxury of being able to replay it and see that he was actually down, elbow hits the ground, the ball comes out because of that, and they pick it up and run it in to win the game. We still had an opportunity at the end to try to do our 2-minute drill. We blocked the field goal, so the energy was still there. We still had opportunities to get back into that game and try to win it at the end, and they made a great play on fourth down, and you got to give them a lot of credit on their defensive staff and their players. They really played a great game from their defensive standpoint, but we'll be back this week.
This week, of course, you play a FCS scholarship program in Presbyterian. They're a team that's going to be your conference rivals coming up next year. Now, this will be the third straight year you've played Presbyterian. They've been a couple of scored games. You guys have been very competitive, and quite frankly, one of the reasons why you and this program knows you can compete at that level and why the announcement was made last year to go scholarship football.
Oh, no doubt. We can definitely compete at that level. You got to understand, we got 45 guys right now sitting on that sideline, the scholarship guys that'll be ready to play next year. And so, we understand where we at, and we understand where we at in the process. But we're looking forward to this one. We're looking forward to the challenge, again, to get out there with a team that you're going to face every year from here on out. And it's going to be a conference game. It's not going to be a non-conference game. And so we ready for it. I know they ready for it. And so we looking forward to going down there to South Carolina and kicking off at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. It's going to be fun.
It's one of the many interesting things about this in-between year, Coach. As you say, this was your first recruiting class who are here on campus, who are practicing every day. they're freshmen who have scholarships, but because of the rules and still being in the Pioneer Football League, you have scholarship guys. You can't play any of them. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, so you got 21 scholarship guys, and I said 45. That's 45 freshmen and transfers that we're not playing this year that are setting out. And so, but when you talk about 21 guys that you try to get ready, I think it's great for us because we get those guys, we get them in here trained up, we get them, acclimated to our culture, what we expect. They get a year off where they can now focus on school. Everything ain't hitting them at one time. And, most freshmen are not ready to play physically. It's not that they can't do it athletically, physically and mentally. It takes so much out of you. And so it makes it very, very tough on guys. So, they getting ready. That's all we doing is we took the approach of it's going to be 18 months. And we're going to build you up from the ground floor. And Coach Malone, our strength and conditioning coach, is doing a great job of building them physically up for where we need to be for the upcoming season. So it really gives us a great scout team, though. That's the great thing about it is that we have guys that can really help us compete throughout the week, and it's not your typical compete team. It's guys that can actually play and probably better than some of the teams that we're going to be playing. And so it's great for that, and it's great to get our ones and our starters the looks that they need throughout the week.
What do you look for when you play PC this week?
Well, listen, they are a well-coached football team. They are going to be in the right spots defensively. Probably one of the best defenses we'll face all year long. Remind me of our defense. You're not going to fool them. You just got to line up and play football, and very similar to what Georgetown was last week. They're a physical group, and their defensive line is very active, so we have to be, concerned about that and watching that. We got to be able to, stop their offense and not give up big plays. And that's going to be the deal because they got a little running back over there that's a true freshman that can get it done. Okay, you give him an inch, he's going to take the whole football field. So we cannot give him any air, any room to run, any room to breathe. We got to be all over him. And so from an offensive standpoint, we have to take care of the football, and we got to take what they give us. Okay, every defense gives you something. You got to find it, and you have to take it, and then be patient with it and trust the process. We trust the process, we'll be fine. And so it's going to be another hard-hitting, physical football game, which I love, and I know their head coach loves it because he's a defensive guy too, and it's going to be fun.
It'll be Saturday night under the lights in Clinton, South Carolina. Campbell at Presbyterian. 7 o'clock start. You can get PC's broadcast through the video stream on BigSouthSports.com. We'll have complete audio coverage for you on 88.3 FM here locally and an audio link as well. For head coach Mike Minner, I'm Chris Haymeyer saying so long, and we'll see you next week on This Week in Campbell Football.